Lovely. So good evening, and thanks a million for joining me on the yoga mat this evening. This week's focus is twist and core. So just to kind of give you a brief explanation, when we talk about twisting this evening, we're really talking about twisting and releasing into the spine and the core. And if you imagine the spine like a string of beads, so when we're twisting into our spine, we want to make sure those beads are pulled apart to begin with. So we're always going to be lengthening or sitting tall, depending on if we're lying down or sitting up. And then as we exhale, then we can work in a twist. So there's no point in us being slumped into the spine and trying to twist. We're just going to be compressing into those lovely discs that we're trying to create space between. When we talk about the core, we're talking about anything really from the diaphragm to just below the hips and everything in between. And we're going to try to engage with those core muscles that really wrap themselves around the spine so we can get that lovely kind of strong posture, that engagement with our core, and hopefully help improve our day-to-day form, but also our form as we go through about our sports. So you'll notice that over time, as we start to fatigue, our form often drops. So if we can try to access the power and the strength within our core to maintain that lovely posture or that lovely form, then we're going to be able to keep a little bit stronger for a little bit longer. When we're talking about our core as well, I want you to really imagine breathing as deeply as you can into the belly, and that's going to help us mobilize into the core, into those core muscles, into the ribs, into the intercostal muscles, and again, all those muscles in the spine. So we're going to start in a nice, easy cross-legged seat, sitting as comfortable and as tall as we can. Again, just notice if we're kind of slumped here, we're going to see if we can grow the spine a little bit taller. We're going to roll the shoulders back, hands are rested onto the knees, and we're going to inhale, press the chest all the way over to the right, bring it through center, all the way over to the left. And as we exhale, tuck the chin in, we're going to roll through that upper back, and we're going to continue to draw those lovely full circles. Breathing in and out through the nose, but nice and relaxed here. And we can press those hands into the knees to draw ourselves a little bit further forward, lengthening through the spine. We should feel a little release into one of our hips, depending on which way those legs are crossed. We might roll through the shoulders, we might roll through the neck. And again, feel free to close down the eyes and just really engage with that freedom, that movement. Eventually, we're going to meet back at center. We're going to reverse the crisscross of the legs just to keep a wee bit of balance in those hips. Hands are rested down. We'll inhale, press the chest all the way over to the left, through center, all the way over to the right. And again, continue to draw those lovely full circles. And we will be working at releasing into the hips. So we'll find, particularly in athletes, if the hips are really tight, chances are the pelvis is slightly tilted, and it's going to be really hard to engage with those core muscles. So the front of the core might be disengaged, and then the lower back is going to be compressed. So we're going to try to create a little bit of mobility into those hips this evening as well, so that we can hopefully access those lovely core muscles. For now, just freedom, mobility, space, and opening. Eventually, we're going to meet back in seat at center. Open the palms to the ceiling, again, sitting nice and tall. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and release between the shoulders. We'll do that 2 more times. So a nice big stretch. As we inhale, look up. And as we exhale, press forward and release. And we'll do that once more. Nice big stretch. And exhale, forward and release. We're going to work a little bit of spinal twist here. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. And exhale, gently twist to the right. Place the left hand just above the knee, right hand on the ground, nice and close to the lower back. As we inhale, press the hand into the ground, lengthen tall through the spine. And as we exhale, gently twist. Looking over the right shoulder, we're pressing the left hand into the leg. We're lengthening tall on the inhale. We're releasing, creating space on that exhale. Almost try to get the front of the body parallel to the side of the room. And think about that string of beads. So we're pulling them apart as we inhale, and then we're working in between that space as we exhale. We'll take one more breath on this side. Inhale gently back to center, a little twist to the left, just to release. And then back to center again. We're going to reverse the crisscross of the legs. Again, balancing out those hips. So nice and tall. We'll open the palms to the ceiling. And then inhale the arms out, reaching up. As we exhale, gently twist to the left this time. Right hand rests just above the knee, left hand on the ground behind us. As we inhale, press the hand into the ground, lengthen. And as we exhale, gently twist. Looking over the left shoulder, pressing that right hand into the leg, maybe even working that left hand around the body. Again, really trying to engage with that left shoulder muscle to really open up space into the heart. And we're trying not to collapse too much into that left hand. So it's just there as a little reminder to us to sit as tall as we can. And we exhale, see if we can create just a little bit more space. We'll take one more breath on this side. And then inhale gently back through center, a little twist to the right just to release. And then back to center again. From here, we're going to come to lie back onto our mats and just make sure that we have our block there and our strap if we need it within reach. So we're lying back, knees are bent, feet are flat to start with. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest, give it a nice little squeeze. We're going to straighten that left leg out. Left hand rests on the shin, right arm extends out in line with the shoulder, palm down. We're going to shift the hips a little bit to the right and then draw that right leg across the body to the left, coming into a lovely spinal twist. Looking over the right shoulder, left hand is resting on the outer right thigh. And again, notice if we're not fully into the twist, just shift the hips ever so slightly to the right so we can create a wee bit more space for that twist to happen. We should feel a lovely release into that right glute. As we inhale, lengthen through the spine, draw a nice deep belly breath. And as we exhale, see if we can twist and release, really hugging that right shoulder to the ground. And if it's off the ground, just come out of our twist until we can reconnect and then work back. So we're getting the full benefit of that twist, the whole length of the spine. Lengthening, opening on the inhale, releasing on the exhale. We'll take one more breath on this side. And then gently inhale back to center. Keep hugging the right knee in, right hand rests on the shin, left hand rests on the left hip bone, and really pressing the back of that left leg into the ground. As we inhale, press the shin into the hand, and as we exhale, draw that right knee outside the line of the body, so toward the armpit or wider if we can. We're going to inhale, press shin into hand, and as we exhale, open into that hip space a little bit more. We can continue here, activating as we inhale, releasing as we exhale. We're working into our psoas muscle. So the only muscle really that crosses or has attachments into the leg and into the spine, and it crosses over the whole hip complex. So when it gets tight, it can cause all sorts of ruction. So again, just enjoying that space, freeing up those hips for one more breath. And then hug the right knee back into the chest, give it a nice little squeeze. We're going to hug the left knee in to meet it, and then we're going to straighten that right leg down to the ground. Right hand rests on the shin, left arm extended out in line with the shoulder, palm down. We'll shift the hips a little bit to the left this time, and then draw the left leg across the body to the right. Looking over the left shoulder is literally glued to the ground. Right hand rests on the outer thigh. And again, if you feel you're not fully in the twist, just shift the hips ever so slightly to the left. So that left hip bone is stacked on top of the right, and both hip bones are centered down the midline of the mat. Nice full belly breath. Feel that lovely release into the left glute, the lower back, the whole length of the spine. Engaging with that lovely full belly breath to really mobilize into the core here. Softening with each exhale. We're not forcing it, just wakening up the body. We'll take one more breath. And then slowly inhale back to center. Keep hugging that left knee in, left hand rests on the shin, right hand onto the hip. And again, we're really pressing the back of that right leg into the ground. Inhale, press shin into hand. And as we exhale, work the left knee toward the armpit or wider if we can. As we inhale, press shin into hands. As we exhale, open the hip a little bit more. Continuing here with your own breath. Keep it active. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath. Again, working into our deep psoas. And it's not just at a muscular level. When the psoas gets tight, it can actually affect our digestive system. It can affect all the organs in our abdominal cavity, really. So just by freeing up that psoas muscle, we can create a lot of space, getting rid of a lot of compression in the body. We'll take one more breath. And then we'll hug that left knee back in the chest. We're going to interlock fingers across the front of the left shin. Relax the shoulders. Again, really press the way through the right heel and really hugging that left knee into the chest. If we want a little bit of upper core, we're going to inhale, lift the chest toward the ceiling so the head and neck automatically lift. And then if we want a little bit of lower core, we're going to lift that right foot off the ground, hovering anywhere between 30 and 45 degrees off the ground. Relax the shoulders, keep hugging that left knee in, pressing the chest toward the ceiling. We're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to straighten the left leg, hug that right knee in. And continue with your own breath. We're going to alternate legs, keeping the chest lifted only if we don't feel any pressure on the neck. Keeping both legs super active. So we're actively pressing away through the heel. Pressing that lower back into the ground. So make sure that lower back is connected. So we're not just engaging into the front of the core. And feel free to hug those knees toward the armpits just to get a little bonus hip release here, as well as engaging into the core muscles. Relax the breath. We're going to hug the right knee in, keep it hugged in there, and then rest the head down. We're going to bend the left knee, place the foot flat to the ground. So again, continuing with our little core activations. So we're going to do quite a lot of activations this evening. Reach for a block if we have it. If we don't, we can, I'll show you another little variation. So block just above the right knee. We're going to hook the block in place using the right elbow. Fingertips to the side of the head, and that left hand rests on the belly. Now, if you don't have a block, same positioning with that right leg, but we're just going to work that right elbow down toward the ground. Okay, so that's where we start. Left hand is on the belly. Then from here, we're going to straighten the left leg, press it away through the left heel, and really feeling that connection of the lower back on the ground. If we want a little bit of upper core, we're going to lift from the chest and rest the head into that right hand. Again, no stress in the neck. We're not pulling at the neck. We can breathe freely through that throat. We're going to inhale, knees together. And then exhale, press that left foot out. Inhale, knees together. Exhale, straighten the left, and continue with your own breath. So again, noticing that neck. If we're feeling pressure, even try placing the tongue to the top of the palate. That'll help release those neck muscles. And if we're still feeling stressed, maybe just take a little break and then come right back in when you're ready. So we're still going to be working into the middle and lower core. Just with that chest lift, we're getting a little bit more into the upper. Relax the breath. Work with the breath. Inhaling in. Exhale, press it out. We'll do one more. Meeting with knees together. We'll rest the head, rest the feet, rest the block off to the side. Feet come about the width of the mat apart. Allow the knees to fall toward each other. Pressing lower back into the ground. We're going to open the arms into cactus arms. Inhale at center. Exhale, drop both knees over to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Inhale back through center. Exhale, knees drop to the left as we look over the right shoulder. And continue with your own breath. Gently windscreen wipering those knees side to side. Make sure the feet are wide enough apart so that the opposite knee can fall behind the opposite foot. And we're trying as much as we can to draw those knees all the way down toward the ground. And just notice if they come a little bit lower on one side more so than the other. So tuning in with any little imbalances. So you will notice as we work into our twist, our back is going to come off the ground. So in order to support it, I want you to really imagine drawing the belly button in, almost to touch the spine. So we're engaging with the core muscles and we're not putting too much pressure on that lower back. When you're ready, we're going to meet back at center. Feet are planted, knees together, feet together. We'll hug the left knee in this time. Again, reach for a block if we have it. Place the shoulder end just above the left knee, hook it in place using the left elbow, fingers to the side of the head, right hand rests in the belly. Again, we're going to straighten that right leg, actively press the way through the heel. That left shin is still active, that left foot is still active, so left shin parallel to the ceiling. If we want a little bit of upper core, we're going to lift the chest and rest the head into that left hand. Lovely. Inhale, knees together in. Exhale, press away through that right heel. Inhale, knees in. Exhale, straighten the right leg and continue with your own breath. Again, imagining a piece of string attached to your chest, drawing your chest toward the ceiling. So again, there's loads of space underneath the chin here. We've got lots of freedom to breathe. No stress. Really just focusing on engaging those lovely core muscles. We'll do more. Last one. And then we meet with knees together, relax the head, relax the feet, relax the block off to the side. Again, feet width of the mat apart, allow the knees fall to touch. Lower back pressed into the ground, arms into cactus. We'll inhale here. And then exhale, drop both knees over to the right. We're going to pause here, looking over the left shoulder, really pressing those knees down toward the ground. Make sure those feet are wide enough apart. If we want to go a little bit deeper, we can always rest the right ankle on top of the left thigh. And we should feel a lovely release into the left hip. Maybe even a little bit into TFL and ITB here. So this is one of our few releases that we're going to feel that stretch. So just enjoy it. Drawing the belly button in, but still enjoying those lovely big belly breaths. One more breath on this side. Relax the right foot. We'll inhale back through center. And as we exhale, drop both knees all the way over to the left, looking over the right shoulder. Again, if we want to go deeper, as we press those knees to the ground, we might rest that left ankle on the outer right thigh. Again, we're not pulling the foot down, but we're just bringing a little bit more consciousness to the twist and adding a little bit more weight. Nice full belly breaths. In and out through the nose. One breath on this side. And then release the left foot to the ground. We slowly inhale back to center. Feet are together, knees are bent, feet are flat. Again, we're going to hug both knees in this time. We're going to reach for our block, catch and hold at the shorter ends of the block. Shins are parallel to the ceiling. We're drawing the toes toward the knees. We're going to place the block lengthways, just above both knees, and we're going to hook that block in place using the elbows, fingertips to the side of the head. And again, if you don't have a block, you're just dropping the elbows toward the ground and opening into the chest. Again, if we want a little bit of upper core, we're going to lift the chest and rest the head into those hands, pressing the lower back into the ground. And this might be where we stay. This might be strong enough. If you want to join me in movement, we're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, straighten the right leg out, hovering it off the ground. Inhale, knees in. Exhale, straighten the left leg out. And continue with your own breath. Make sure that lower back is pressed into the ground. So you might notice the lower you drop the heel, a little bit of space might come underneath that lower back. So we want to make sure it's connected fully. So if you need to lift the leg a little bit higher, listen to your own body here. Listen to that neck. Again, keep lifting from the chest. No stress. Nice, relaxed breath. Gaze is relaxed. Face is relaxed. All that strength and energy going into our core. And do one more, both sides. And then we meet with knees in. We rest the head down, rest the feet down. Knees are bent, feet are flat. We still have our block, if we have one, and we're going to place it between the knees and press the knees into the block so we can feel those inner thighs activate. If we don't have a block, imagine the width of a block between the knees, press the knees toward each other, not to touch. We're going to use our bridge pose as our counter pose this evening. Hands come to the ground, fingertips brush the backs of both heels. We're going to press the feet into the ground and gently peel the lower, middle, upper back off the ground as we lift those hips high toward the ceiling. We're going to walk the shoulder blades together, taking the pressure off the head and neck. Pressing hands, arms, shoulders into the ground, pressing knees into the block.
Lifting the hips, but just notice if we're finding pressure on that lower back. I want you to imagine something's about to drop on your belly and you're trying to contract those muscles to resist. We can stay here or bring movements. We're going to inhale, lift. And as we exhale, gently lower the hips toward the ground, hovering just off the mat. Inhale really slowly up. Exhale really slowly lower. And continue with your own breath. A nice mindful movement. Same speed as we lift and as we lower. Full engagement. Try not to touch down if you can. And again, we're still pressing those knees into the block. Working strength. We're going to do one more lift. And then slowly release all the way down to the ground. Lovely. We'll rest the block off to the side. Hug both knees into the armpits. So a nice little bit of hip opening here. And we're going to create a few little circles, figure eights into that lower back. Allow the knees melt open. Allow the heels work away from each other. Relax the shoulders. Feel that space into the heart. Relax the breath. Lovely. Come into stillness here. We'll bring the knees back together. We're going to place the hands to the ground, fingertips point to the front of the mat, and we're going to gently shimmy the forearms and wrists underneath the lower back. So we're kind of creating a little cradle or a little support with those arms. Shoulder blades are still working toward each other. And when we feel stable here and supported, keeping the feet and knees together, we're going to see if we can straighten those legs all the way up toward the ceiling, draw the toes toward the face. If those hamstrings are a little bit tight or over lengthened, feel free to soften the knees, but try to keep the feet and the knees together. We're going to start to draw a few little circles to the right, really slow, starting small. And each circle we draw, we're going to make it a little bit larger than the last. Keeping the ankles and knees literally glued together here if we can. Drawing the belly in, keeping that lower back connected to the ground. Again, those circles are getting a little bit larger. Starting to feel our hips engage a little bit more. Relax the breath. A little bit larger again. And again, slow the movement right down, so we're not relying on that pendulum effect of the body. Those circles are so large now that the heels are almost touching the ground, but not quite. And when the heels are almost touching the ground, we're going to reverse those circles, opposite directions, starting large this time. And each circle is going to become a little bit smaller than the next. So almost like we're drawing a little whirlpool. There's no exact size to this, as in the size of those circles. Just making sure each one is getting a little bit smaller. We're still active in the legs. We're getting really tiny with those circles, little minute movements. And then relax. So legs are straight. Vertebra by vertebra, little by little, we're going to slowly lower those heels all the way down to the ground, as slowly as we possibly can, keeping that lower back pressed into the ground all the way. Brilliant. We're going to bring the arms back overhead, reaching through the fingertips. We're going to point through the toes, maybe shift the hips side to side, trying to create as much space into the joints here as we can. Coming to stillness, we're going to cross the right leg over the left. We're going to shift the hips as far to the right as we can, reach the fingertips as far to the left as we can, and shift those feet as far to the left as we can. So we're creating a little banana shape with the body, really pressing those hips to the right. You can use that left foot that's underneath the right to draw the right foot over a little bit more and just really feel that release into the right hip. A little bit into ITB here again this evening. And feeling it all the way into the sideways. You might use the left hand and pull that right arm over a little bit more. So really exaggerating our banana curve. As we inhale, reach 2 fingers to toes. As we exhale, press those hips a little bit further to the right. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Lengthening on the inhale, folding on the exhale. 1 more breath. And then inhale gently back to center. we're going to uncross the legs. So we're going to cross that left leg over the right. Again, this time we're going to shift the hips all the way over to the left, the feet all the way over to the right, and reach those fingertips all the way over to the right. So again, little banana curve, opposite side. We can use that right foot, hook it to the outside of the left to really draw that left foot over. Again, we can use that right hand to draw the left hand over a little bit more to the right. Nice full belly breaths here. Again, just really expanding into the side waist, the hip. As we use our belly breath, we'll feel a little bit more release into the core. We'll take one more breath on this side. And then slowly release back to center. Or we can uncross the legs. Hug both knees into the chest, give them a nice little squeeze. We're going to crisscross at the ankles. Options to make your way anyway to seat or rock and roll with me, just the once. We're going to bring ourselves all the way into a nice strong seat at the front of the mat. And again, just noticing how we're sitting here. Notice if we collapse into the spine, really lengthening tall if we can. We're going to bring the feet out front, knees together, feet together. We'll work the heels toward the sit bones toward the heels, making ourselves as tiny as we can. We're going to wrap the forearms around the shins, catching all the elbows, forearms, wrists, whatever we can catch hold of. And again, we're going to try to grow that spine a little bit taller. So we're trying not to collapse here. Opening into the heart, drawing the shoulders back, gaze is relaxed out in front. We're going to try to maintain that lovely strong line with our posture, but we're going to release the grip. Step the feet forward so there's about a foot between the heels of the sit bones. And again, try not to collapse, try not to round. Knees are together, we'll extend the arms forward, palms face each other. We're going to gently fall back nice and slowly into our boat shape. When we start to feel light in the toes, we can come up onto the tippy toes. Again, we can stay here, keeping lifting the chest, lengthening the spine. If we want to go a little bit further, we might bring the right shin parallel to the ceiling, touch down. Left shin parallel to the ceiling, touch down. Continuing alternating with your own breath. Again, still maintaining that lovely open heart, that long spine, maybe bringing both shins together. Lifting, keeping the knees together, feet together. Really feeling that openness into the heart for 3. For 2. And 1. Crisscross at the ankles. We're going to gently fold forward and release. Release the head, release the neck, maybe shift the hips a little bit side to side, releasing into that lower back, maybe rock the head a little bit side to side, releasing into the neck, just softening the body here for a couple of moments. When you're ready, we're going to tuck the chin in, slowly roll our way back up the seat, same starting position. Feet out front, about a foot between the heels and the sit bones. Knees together, feet together, sitting nice and tall and strong. Arms are forward, palms face each other. We're going to gently roll back into our boat. Again, keeping the heart open, maybe coming up onto the tippy toes, maybe staying here, maybe alternating shins, maybe bringing both shins together. Whatever feels good for you. If this feels good, we're going to place the right hand on the chest, crisscross the left hand over it. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, gently twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. And continue with your own breath. Again, option only, keeping the knees together, feet together, heart lifted, spine long, and really working into that twist. Relax the breath. We're going to meet at center on our next breath. Crisscross at the ankles and gently fold forward and release. Release the head, release the neck, release the breath, release the full body to the earth. Feeling that space between the shoulder blades mat. Last one in this sequence, tuck the chin in. We walk those hands back toward the body. Feet out front. Knees together, feet together. Again, nice and strong here. Arms are forward, palms face each other. We're going to gently roll back into our boat. Coming light on the toes. Again, stay here. Maybe alternate shins. Maybe bring both shins together. This time, opposite hand. So left hand on the chest, right hand on top. Crisscross at the wrists. We can stay here, or we can gently twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Continue with your own breath. If you want, you can straighten the leg as we twist. So opposite leg as to the direction that we're twisting, but again, try not to collapse. Out of that lovely long spine, that lovely open heart. Just challenging the movement. One more both sides if we're working into our twist. Meeting back at center. Crisscross of the ankle last time. Hold and release. Release the head, release the neck, release the breath. Again, we're rocking those hips side to side if it feels good. Relax the breath. Sigh it out if you wish. Lift the chin in. We're going to slowly walk the hands back toward the body. From here, we're going to place the hands out in front, fingers widely spread. Gently shift the body weight forward so we can step back onto the knees into a nice strong tabletop centered on the mat. Shoulders over, elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward. Again, just notice if the belly's collapsed here. I want you to draw the belly button in until you can feel that lower back really engage. Inhale, draw the chest forward as we take the gaze up and arch the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back to the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, really tuck the chin to the chest, and continue with your own breath. Nice, organic movements. Let the body totally go. With the eyes closed, we can really engage with the movement. We're not thinking about what it looks like. We're just enjoying that freedom, that mobility, that release of energy. Eventually, we're going to meet back in our tabletop when you're ready. Left hand comes toward the center of the mat, just off center to the left. We're going to flip the right palm to face us. Knees are a little bit wider than hip width distance apart here. We're going to inhale the right arm up toward the ceiling, opening the heart. We're going to bend the right elbow and place the palm of the hand to the back of the head and work that right elbow back. Just notice the lower back. So we want to keep the lower back stable. Most of this movement is from the middle and upper core. As we exhale, touch the right elbow toward the left wrist. Inhale, open the heart, keep that lower back stable. Exhale, right elbow to wrist. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. We'll do two more. Nice and strong in that left arm. Last one. And then release the right hand back to the ground. We're going to repeat this on the other side. So right hand comes toward the center of the mat, slightly off center to the right. We're going to look at the left palm. Shoulders stacked over that right wrist. So we're nice and strong in the arm. Inhale, left arm up and open the heart. We're going to bend the left elbow, place the back of the hand, or place the palm of the hand to the back of the head and work that left elbow out. As we exhale, left elbow toward the right wrist. Inhale, open the heart, take the gaze out. Exhale, close. Continue with your own breath. And again, trying to keep that lower back stable. Moving into the thoracic spine here and up into the neck. We'll do two more. Last one. And then release the left hand back to the ground. Lovely. Knees about hip width distance apart. We're going to walk the hands forward, out in front. Fingers widely spread. We'll tuck both toes under. Press the ground away and sit back toward the heels into a little child's pose variation. Rest the forehead toward the ground or to a block if it doesn't quite reach. And just gently wriggle through the toes here. Relax the breath. Relax the heart toward the ground. We're going to press the hands into the ground, looking back toward the toes. We're going to hover the knees just about an inch off the ground and really press back through those heels. We're going to pause here for 3, for 2, And one, lift the knees a little bit higher or about half a foot off the ground. Actively press back through the heels for 3, for 2, and 1. Knees are about a foot off the ground. Again, really long in the spine, open in the heart. Press through the heels for 3, for 2, and 1. This time we're going to straighten the legs, lift the hips, and release those heels to the ground, coming into our downward dog. Pressing the ground away, try to get the chest a little bit closer toward the mat. Looking back toward the knees, maybe even toward the belly. Relax the head, relax the neck. We're going to gently paddle out the feet, allowing opposite heel melt slowly toward the ground. Not forcing it, but just noticing if one side goes a little bit lower than the other. So just tuning in with little balances and trying to iron them out with the movement itself as much as we can. Draw the belly in, lifting the hips nice and strong in the arms. We're going to look forward between the hands, gently walk our way to the front of the mat, coming through a nice wide-legged forward fold. Bring those feet wider than mat width distance apart. So we've got length in behind the legs, but we also have a nice long spine. We can touch the fingertips to the ground or to a block if we need a little bit more length in those arms. Left hand stays grounded in line with the big toes. We're going to inhale the right arm up and open the heart. Gaze follows up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left arm up and open the heart. Exhale, release. And continue with your own breath. Pressing that hand into the ground so we can get a little bit more leverage into the twist. Opening the heart as wide as we can. Weight back into the heels and the hips. See if we can wiggle those toes freely. Relaxing, releasing with each exhale. Feel that space into the lower back, behind the legs, into the inner hip. And really just relax into the movement. So get rid of any rigidity or stiffness or resistance. We'll do one more. Meeting in a nice relaxed forward fold. Just allow it all hanging out here. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Fly it out through the mouth. And then gently tuck the chin in. We're going to slowly roll our way all the way up to stand. Head comes up last, and then we walk those feet toward each other. Lovely. Take a little drink here if you need. We're going to work into a nice strong core flow for the rest of the class this evening. So when you're ready, we're going to meet at the front of the mat. Feet nicely grounded, about hip width distance apart. Hands to heart center, palms pressed together, relax the shoulders, grow the spine as tall as we can, really draw the belly button in. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale to one side, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, right hand stays on the ground. We'll inhale the left arm up and open the heart wide. Exhale, left hand back to the ground. Dropping right knee down. Cushion it if you need. We'll inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we soften into those hips. Inhale, lengthen tall through the spine. And as we exhale, gently twist to the left. We're going to hook the right elbow to the outside of the leg. Palms are pressed together. We're drawing the left shoulder back, looking over the shoulder. See if we can press the right arm into the leg to literally peel the belly off the leg. Those hands should be almost at heart center here. We're going to hold it for 3, for 2, and 1. Staying in our twist, we lift the arm off the leg. Continuing to twist to the left. We're going to open those arms nice and wide. Looking back toward the left thumb, really pressing that left shoulder back for 3. Bending into the left knee for 2. And 1. Inhale, turning to the front, hands to heart. We're going to frame left foot with both hands. Coming off the right knee, we'll step the left foot back to meet right into a nice strong plank. Shoulders over elbows, over wrists. Elbow creases face forward. With a lovely straight line from the neck to the heels. And again, if it's a little bit too much on the shoulders or the upper body, by all means drop to the knees, but maintain that lovely length, that lovely straight line, neck to knees. Notice if the hips are up in the air. I want you to really focus on engaging that straight line, or maybe notice if those hips have dipped toward the ground. We're only holding it for the first round, really strong, for 3, For 2. And 1. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows tucked in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground as we lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press the ground away, lift the hips. Downward dog. Gently walk it out or maintain stillness or come into child's pose anytime you wish. Coming back to that lovely full belly breath. From stillness in our downward dog, we're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward. Bend the right knee into the chest. We're going to shift the body weight forward to bring that right foot between the hands. Left foot to meet it. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shin. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, left hand stays on the ground. We'll inhale the right arm up and open the heart, gaze follows up. Exhale, right hand back to the ground. Release the left knee down and cushion it if you need. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we soften into those hips. Inhale, draw the belly in as we lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right. We're going to hook the left elbow to the outside of the leg. Palms are pressed together. We're going to draw that right shoulder back, looking over the shoulder. See if we can press the left arm into the leg to create space between the belly and the leg. We're really engaging here with the core, bending into that right knee for 3. Opening the heart for 2. And 1. Staying in our twist, we're going to lift the left arm off the leg. Open the arms as wide as we can, looking back toward the right thumb. We're pressing that right shoulder back for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale, turning to the front, hands to heart. We're going to frame the right foot with both hands. Come off the left knee and gently step the right foot back to meet left. Nice, strong plank here. If that feels good, we can stay here in our high plank. Again, that nice straight line. If we wish, we're going to come down onto our forearms, nice and slowly. Shoulders are stacked over those elbows. And again, straight line, either neck to heels or neck to knees. Just making sure the hips haven't dipped or the bum's not popped up into the air. So really engaging here. Relax the breath. Pressing forearms into the ground. Pressing actively back through the heels. Really active in the legs for 3. For 2. And 1. Gently soften our way all the way down to the ground. We're going to shift our way down the mat until we know our face is going to be in line with the mat and not to ground. And then we're going to straighten the arms out in front. Bring the hands together, bring the toes together. We're creating a lovely long line with the body. We're going to engage a little bit more with the posterior chain here. When you're ready, on an inhale, we're going to lift the right arm, the left leg as high as we can go. Lift the chest, gaze is forward. See if we can lift that back leg a little bit more. Feel the lower back, glute, hamstring engage. Reaching through those right fingertips for 3. For 2. And 1. Exhale, release. When you're ready. Inhale, left arm, right leg up. Again, high as we can go. Gaze is forward toward those left fingers. Lifting through that right leg. Pressing through the heel for 3. Lifting the chest for 2. And 1. Slowly release. Take a moment. When you're ready. Inhale, arms and chest only. Pressing feet into the ground. Lifting from the belly up for 3. For 2. And 1. Release. Inhale, we're lifting the legs. Back of the body. As high as we can go. Feel the glutes, the hamstrings engage. Holding it for 3. Lift for 2. And 1. Gently release. Last one. On an inhale, arms, feet, chest, head, everything lifted. All that's on the ground now is the belly and the hips. lifting, creating as little connection to the ground here as we can for 3, for 2, and 1. Release. Well done. Making a little pillow by palling one hand, one fist on top of the other, and resting the forehead onto our pillow. Gently rock the hips side to side, releasing any tension in the lower back, in the hips. Maybe rocking the head a wee bit side to side, massaging any tension out of the upper spine, the neck. Relax the breath. Slowly, slowly. Eventually coming back to stillness here. We're going to bring the hands back in line with the chest. We can shift our way back up onto the mat if we're down a little bit too far. Elbows are tucked in. We're going to press the feet and hands into the ground. Nice and strong. Press the ground away. Lift the hips. Downward dog. Again, stillness. Walk it out. Readjust our position if we need. Or child's pose if you wish. From stillness in our downward dog, we're going to inhale the left leg up toward the ceiling, looking forward. We bend the left knee into the chest, shift the body weight forward to place that left foot between the hands. Right foot meet it, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, take a little drink if you need. We're going to go into a second round, similar to the first, but with a few added variations. And when you're ready, we meet at the front. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart. Hands to heart. Relax the shoulders, draw the belly in, lengthening through the crown of the head. Really grounding the feet into the mat, so feeling our foundation nice and strong. We'll inhale the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, right hand stays grounded. We'll inhale the left arm up and open the heart, gazes up. Exhale, left hand back to the ground. Right knee on or off the mat, your choice. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we soften that right knee to the ground. Inhale, lengthen. And as we exhale, twist to the left. Hooking the right elbow to the outside of the leg. Pressing palms together, drawing the left shoulder back. Pressing right arm into the leg, look over the shoulder. Working into our twist. If we feel too comfortable here, we can always challenge it by pressing the ball of the right foot into the ground and lifting off that right knee. But again, only if the leg is straight, we're pressing back through the right heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Staying in our twist, we lift that right arm off the leg, opening the arms as wide as we can, looking back toward the left thumb. If you want to go a little bit further, we can bring the left hand to the outer right side. Inhale the right arm up, and as we exhale, reach the right arm to the back of the room. Still looking over the shoulder for 3. Draw the belly in for 2. And 1. Inhale, arms back wide open. Exhale, hands to heart as we twist to the front. Framing that left foot with both hands. We're going to step the left foot back to meet right. Nice, strong plank. We're going to inhale here at center. As we exhale, bend the right knee. We're going to step the right foot as far up in line with that right hand as we can. And release that left hip toward the ground. Holding it here for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale, both feet together back into plank. And as we exhale, bend the left knee. We're going to step that left foot up in line with the left hand. As far as we can, release into that right hip. Strong in the arms, relaxed in the head and neck for 3. For 2. And 1, stepping that left foot back into plank. We're going to inhale here. And then exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows in, lowering all the way down to the ground, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground as we lift the chest. See if we can hover the hands off the ground. Keep that lift for 3. For 2. And 1, hands released. Toes tucked under, we press the ground away, lift the hips. Downward dog. Stillness or walk it out, your choice. Softening the breath. Again, notice if we're holding it, try to draw it a little bit deeper down into the belly. Relax the head, relax the neck. Softening into our downward dog. From stillness, we're going to inhale the right leg up, looking forward, bend the right knee into the chest. We'll step the right foot between the hands, nice and slowly. Left foot to meet it, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, left hand stays grounded. We'll inhale, right arm up and open the heart. Exhale, right hand back to the ground. Option to have the left knee on or off the mat. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart as we soften the left knee to the ground, cushion it if you need. Inhale, lengthen tall. As we exhale, twist to the right, hooking the left elbow to the outside of the leg. Pressing the palms together, draw the right shoulder back, looking over the shoulder. Pressing the left arm into the leg, lifting the belly off the leg. Again, if you feel comfortable here and you want to challenge it, we're pressing into the ball of the left foot, lifting off the left knee and really actively pressing back through the heel. Again, only if the knee joint feels stable. Holding it for 3, 2, and 1. Staying in our twist, knee on or off the ground. We're going to lift the arm off the leg, still into the right. We'll open the arms nice and wide, looking back toward the thumb. If we want to go a little bit further, we can rest the right hand to the outside of the left leg. Inhale the left arm up, flip the palm, and as we exhale, reach the left arm to the back of the room, looking over the right shoulder for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, arms back wide open. Exhale, hands to heart as we twist to the front, framing that right foot with both hands. We're off the left knee. We're going to step that right foot back into plank, nice and strong. Option to stay here, or we can inhale center, and as we exhale, drop the hips to the right. We're coming on to the outer blade of that right foot. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop the hip to the left as we come on to the outer blade of the left foot. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop to the right. Ankles are together. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. We'll do one more both sides. So just working a little bit of torsion into our twist. Last one to the left. Back to center into our plank. From here, we'll exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground as we lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press the ground, we'll lift the hips. Downward dog. Again, stillness, walk it out, whatever feels good for you. Feel free to rock into the hips, maybe look out underneath opposite armpits. So it's just getting as much freedom and movement and blood flow and energy into the whole length of the body here. Relax the head, relax the neck, relax the breath. Finally, coming to stillness. We're going to release the knees to the ground, bring the big toes to touch, and then slowly sit back toward the heels. We'll rest the forehead to the ground and just bring those hands back by the feet, giving those arms and shoulders a little release. We can rest the forehead to the ground or to a cushion, or even just come on to our left ear or right ear if we feel a little bit claustrophobic. And just allow the body to soften here into a nice relaxed child's pose. Feel free to shift the hips a wee bit side to side if it eases out a little bit of tension. Melting the belly, melting the chest. From stillness, we'll bring the hands back in line with the face. We're going to tuck the chin in and slowly sit back up onto the heels. Shifting our way over to our right side, and we're going to straighten the legs out in front. We're going to come into our final pose for this evening.
If we have a block, we might like to use it, and it'll just help us gain a little bit more space into the front of the body, so you can have it beside you. We're going to lie back onto the ground. And again, if you don't have a block, a little pillow or cushion might be nice either. Lying back, knees are bent, feet are flat. We're going to press the feet into the ground and just gently peel the lower back off the ground, just enough to place our block or our cushion underneath. And we're placing it underneath the little flat part of our back. So not underneath the arch that the bum kind of falls over the front, not underneath the bum that we're kind of compressing into the belly. So just that kind of flat, bony part in between. I want to feel nice and supported. And then from here, we're just going to straighten the legs out. Allow the feet come apart, allow the feet drop out, and just really feel that little space into the front of the pelvis, into the belly. If we find we need a little bit more space, and again, totally option only, but we can always come up to a higher level on our block or on our cushion, but just make sure that lower back is super supported. And again, just allow those feet drop out. Arms are out by the sides, palms are open to the ceiling. Maybe walk the shoulder blades together just to create a wee bit more space into the chest. Tucking the chin a little bit to release into the back of the neck. We're going to close down the eyes here. I want you to feel fully supported. So whether you're on a block, a cushion, or the ground, allow yourself just really melt into the space that you're in. So not feeling that we're holding a pose, but we're releasing into it. With the eyes closed down, just really internalize that sensation. I want you to bring a little bit of focus to the breath. So we're going to imagine there's a piece of string attached to our belly button and a second piece of string attached to the center of our chest. And as we inhale, those two pieces of string are literally lifting the body, levitating it up to the ceiling. And as we exhale, just allow the body melt all the way back toward the ground. And I want you to do that a few times to your own breath, lifting as we levitate on the inhale, releasing as we sink on the exhale. And with each exhale, we're allowing ourselves soften just a little bit more. And again, if that support of the block or the cushion is a little bit too much for you, feel free to remove it at any stage. Nice full belly breaths in and out through the nose. Or maybe you feel better sighing that breath out through the mouth for your final Savasana. Whatever feels good. Just enjoying that space. You've done quite a little bit of activation this evening. So just allow that release happen wherever it is. And again, using that belly breath to really stretch into the muscles here. If we still have the block or cushion underneath the lower back, very gently, we're going to soften the knees and place the feet flat to the ground. Lift the hips just enough to remove that block or that cushion from underneath and slowly release the whole spine to the ground. We're going to straighten the legs, feet together. We're going to bring the arms back overhead, reaching through the fingertips. So again, a lovely full body stretch. Feel free to rock in the hips side to side, maybe lengthening out the sideways, creating a wee bit more space into the joints. Just a nice big stretch, like you've just woken up. And then come into stillness. We're going to gently hug the knees in toward the armpits, giving them a nice little hug. Feel free to make a few little circles or figure eights on that lower back, just massaging it all out. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath. Come into stillness. We're going to release the grip. We're going to release those feet to the ground. Hands can be rested on the belly. Slowly, we're going to roll over onto our right hand side with the eyes closed if we can, and just take a couple of moments here to reset, to reconnect. And
when you're ready, we're going to press the left hand into the ground to slowly draw ourselves all the way back up to seat. Head comes up last. And meet in any comfortable seat for you. So it could be easy cross-legged, it could be sitting back on the heels, whatever feels good. We're going to finish like we started, but again, trying to really reconnect with that lovely long spine, that lovely open heart. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling. And we'll inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out and let it go. We'll do that twice more. Gently bringing the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes. And just thank yourselves for creating a wee bit of space in your evening to come to the mat, to look after yourself, to create some really good energy and strength this evening, and hopefully take that with you and into the rest of the week ahead. And thank you for sharing your energy with me. Namaste.